This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
Welcome to Primates, the podcast where we explore primates and popular culture from chimpanzee all the way down to chimpanzee. This week, guests in the Monkey House include comedy producer, host of Vic and M's Comedy Gems. It's Vicky Hanlon. Welcome.
That's me. Thank you. Yay.
Our podcast joined the Planet Broadcasting Network on the same day, I think.
Did we?
Same week. I think
Aw.
we came in at the same time.
That's exciting.
Yeah. We're twins.
We're brethren.
Twinning.
Twinning.
Oh, well, that's nice for you guys.
Oh, and also...
And the other one.
Also joining, less important, we don't have any key historical dates in common, but Melbourne comedian and animal person Raewyn Pickering. Welcome to the Monkey House.
Oh, thank you. I'm really happy
Animal
to be
person.
here.
You work with animals as a part-time capacity.
Yeah. I work in 2 different animal farms. You thought there was just one, but no.
I also thought there was just one.
I did too, yeah.
Yeah.
I visited you at one. It was great fun.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
primates though.
I was
No.
going to ask, are there
Yeah.
primates?
Well, maybe one day there'll be a farm animal, but not currently.
Not
Right.
currently.
No.
Okay.
Actually, I hope they don't ever become a farm animal. I didn't mean that sincerely.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
it would
don't, I
be-
don't think that
no.
would suit the farm environment, to be honest.
No.
I don't think that
it
would
wouldn't be. It's not good for them.
Yeah.
You know, they're better than
It's
that.
not appropriate.
Yeah, I think they're better than a donkey or a goat. Yeah, well, let's go see a goat at an animal farm.
Oh, goats are pretty cute.
Let's go see a gorilla, the king of the world, on a mountaintop somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
Yeah.
but
If you
have,
wanna
seen
see a
the, have you
gorilla-
seen the little
Oh,
goats like jump on stuff
Yeah.
and they're real cute.
You don't have those kind of goats, do you?
Yeah.
They're all
Do you mean
kind of
the-
goats.
They jump on stuff.
Yeah.
They all do.
What?
Yeah.
Crazy.
You got jumping
there
goats.
are some, though, like in those pictures where they climb the trees. We don't have those ones.
Yeah. But
Right.
all of the, especially the little ones, they all
Yeah.
jump on
Yeah,
stuff.
Jump,
They love it.
jump on everything.
That classic YouTube video of that bouncing goat who sort of is doing parkour off the other goats.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
j-
we've got a few of those.
You got a few parkour goats.
Yeah, we've got, yeah.
All right. Maybe they're pretty good then.
Yeah, they're all right. Goats are pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll change my tune.
Start a goat podcast now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Maybe.
Can I just a really weird sidetrack, but we found out like a week ago that one of our mum goats, this might be a bit disturbing, but one of our
Is that a technical term?
mum
Mum
goat?
goat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, I didn't want to use
the
the
Latin
word doe
term.
in case you guys aren't familiar with the lingo, but one of our like does, she started drinking her own milk.
Oh, the cycle is
yeah,
complete.
it's really, yeah, it's really weird. We
So
took
she
a photo
goes-
of her. She like she twists her.
Oh,
so
hair
she can-
all
she
the
can,
way
like, reach
around so
down
she can have
and-
a little suckle.
Did she have to
Whenever she
remove a
needs-
rib or anything?
I was
No, unless she did very clean work. If she did,
Right.
Get a hold of
Almost
that
impossible
surgeon.
to tell.
Yeah.
But,
It's very hard to do intricate surgery with
hooves.
Yeah. That's what I've found.
Yeah.
I've often found that.
Opposable thumbs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Scalpel.
Opposable hooves. Maybe
Opposable
maybe
hooves.
one day.
Maybe.
They're all all on our own journey of evolution. You know, goats. I don't think
Maybe
you
this
should
will be
be
the future.
shaming goats
We'll
on
all
their.
be drinking their own milk.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they're onto something.
hey, in a world where climate change is the thing, we've got to provide for ourselves, don't we, right?
Yeah, exactly.
She's just
I mean,
getting
it's
in
very
early.
sustainable, I
Yeah.
guess. It's very self-sufficient.
Yeah.
She's just thinking about the impact on the
Exactly.
environment.
Yeah.
That's brave.
I feel like a goat milk fed goat. Their milk would be really goat milky. You know, every time it'd just be a
Ultra.
little more pure.
Yeah.
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 Until I guess it just comes straight out as cheese.
Is that pure? That's like the
That's
purest,
the purest
type
Yeah.
of
purest
Yeah.
goat's milk
If
is
you-
goat's cheese.
right.
I'm pretty sure that's common
Yeah.
knowledge.
Yeah. Once
you-
again, science.
Yeah. I should say I'm not actually a scientist, but I am interested in science.
Sure.
I'm sort of like an amateur scientist,
Okay.
self-taught, similar
Yeah.
to my primatologist credentials, also amateur, self-taught,
Self-taught
but
primatologist.
also one of the leading self-taught amateur primatologists in
Yeah.
the field.
Really?
So,
I would
yeah.
say so.
In Australia or
Yeah,
oh
and beyond.
wow.
Beyond.
Do you have a favourite
pretty
primate,
amazing.
Raewyn?
I was thinking about this. I do. I've got I always really love lemurs. I think that was from the John Cleese
Yeah,
that-
dangerous,
Sure.
he had
dangerous
that-
creatures.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
what was it?
I
Fierce
remember
creatures.
watching it. No, he had a documentary.
Oh, right.
That yeah.
He
Maybe
must love 'em
stemmed
'cause
from
it-
Fierce
um,
creatures.
yeah.
Yeah, because that. But yeah, I've always really loved them. But then in person, they're not quite as exciting. I've found.
Right.
Sure.
So in person, probably the gibbon because
Yeah.
they
Well, that's
run
a
around
gibbon.
with their
Yeah.
hands in the air.
Got
which is
great
pretty lo-
arms.
Yeah, great arms.
Yeah, great.
Are they the swingy ones? Like really long-armed swingy boys?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay. I like them too.
I guess so.
When you were like, "What's your favorite primate?" I thought of a very specific one,
Yeah.
not a like a just a breed of them. I was like, "Oh no,
Oh,
like because I grew up reading Coco, you know the gorilla book.
Yeah.
yeah.
So she was always my
The sign
favorite
language.
Oh, right.
with the
Mm.
sign language and the kitten and
Got a few
Ah,
listeners who
she's
love
great.
Coco.
oh, love Coco.
We're gonna do an episode dedicated to Coco at some point.
She's the
Big
best.
topic.
Someone said, whoever was on one episode, they said that she killed a kitten.
Yeah,
But apparently it was, I don't think it was as bad as they made out. It wasn't like it was on purpose. or
no, I
anything.
think she accidentally like sat on it or something, didn't she?
Oh.
Or like she loved it too much.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kill-
that's all right.
Yeah.
You can lose a couple to too much love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love love,
That's what-
you know. I think there's going to be some sort of attrition, you know,
Mm.
in love.
Sure.
Am I using that word right?
Sure.
Great. What's your favorite primate, Vicky?
Apart
Coco.
from Coco,
Okay.
You just said
Oh.
it.
Yeah,
Do you know what you did just say?
yeah. I
Yeah.
feel like Matt didn't accept your answer though.
yeah,
Did
I
you
feel
have-
like he's like just not listening. Brutal.
Wow.
I do like orangutans as well.
Orangutans
Mm.
are great.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, they're really.
Because Coco's a gorilla. Gorillas are great.
they are.
Mm.
The West and the Eastern. I love them all.
What about
Yeah.
the mountain?
Mountain.
Mountain
Lowlands?
ones, yeah.
Yeah, lowlands, mountain.
Great.
Up, down, east,
They're
west,
great.
left, right.
All over.
All over the place. Love me a gorilla.
Mm.
This week, Vicky, you chose the topic for us to talk
I
about.
did. Do I regret it?
Did ya?
Maybe. We'll see.
It is the show which I always thought was called Monkey Magic, which is actually called Monkey.
Yep.
But the theme song of the show is called Monkey Magic, and that's why me and apparently a lot of other people think it's called Monkey
I
Magic.
also thought it was called Monkey Magic because I think when I wrote to you, I was like, "Yeah, let's do Monkey Magic."
Yeah.
And you were like, "Yeah, absolutely." And then I guess we both looked it up and went, "Oh, oops, no, not what it's called."
Yeah, well, I think if you would say to anyone, "Hey, did you watch Monkey?" No one would know. What are you talking about?
It's a bit
You
vague.
have to be. You have to say Monkey Magic.
I can't call this episode Monkey,
No,
No,
you can't.
so I'm gonna have to. I'll
no,
call it Monkey
there would
Magic,
be an
but
uproar.
I think there'll be uproar either way. People will be
Yeah,
like, it's
yeah.
it's not
Ex-
actually called Monkey Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, listen to the
That's true.
first 10 minutes. We mentioned that.
We talk about it. You put it in brackets, 1978
Yeah.
TV series. It's not quite the same.
Do you want to break it down briefly what the show's about? We just
yeah.
watched the first episode.
We did just watch
moments
the
ago.
first episode,
Mm.
which is a setup, not remotely similar to anything else that the whole series is.
Right.
But it's basically about a monkey king who was born from an egg on a mountain top. That's the Raewyn's looking at me going, "What was that?" But that's the lyrics of the song.
Yeah.
And him and two other monsters guide a priest to India. Journey to the West.
Journey
which
to the
is
West.
What it's called in English. What is it?
So it's a Japanese show.
Yeah.
Filmed from 1978 to 1980, 2 seasons.
78,
52
I got it
episodes.
right.
Well done.
Hell yeah.
And it was called Saiyūki, something like that.
Yeah.
Which translates to Journey to the West, I believe.
Yeah.
And it was based on an old famous novel.
I was going to say, it's like a fable kind of thing, isn't it?
Yes, and a
Yeah.
lot of different variations of this have been made over hundreds of years.
Sure.
And they are still being made today. Now, but this was quite a different version of it. They mucked around with a lot They had changed genders of some characters, and they also
I just wanted to have a bit of fun.
it was they made it. It was more. They definitely lent
Let's
into
not
the
be
comedy
so
a bit more.
serious
Yeah.
with this monkey fable,
Monkey King.
You know?
Can't
Let's
wait.
have a bit of fun with him.
So it was a Chinese novel from the 16th century or it's believed to be by Wu Cheng'an.
Sure. Well, that's what I would have guessed.
But it's not. There is some dispute about that.
Oh,
But
okay.
it's one of the
Guess
big
again.
4 novels of Chinese literature.
So this is one
Wow.
of the Chinese
four.
novels.
This is one of the big 4.
Right.
Yep.
Can you name the other 3?
I could, but I won't. Not on
Okay.
this case. 'Cause this
No, that's fair enough.
none of them are about primates.
Okay,
It would
sorry.
not be. It would not be relevant. It would not be appropriate.
But just know that you know.
I need you to know that I know. Yeah.
Sure.
It was filmed in northwest China and Inner Mongolia. This is all from a great resource I often use, and I don't
Oh,
know
yeah?
if you don't know if you've got it out on the farms yet. Wikipedia.
Ooh.
It was dubbed into English from 1979 with dialogue written by David Weir. The dubbed version was broadcast under the name Monkey and broadcast in the United Kingdom by the British Broadcasting Corporation. Then in 1981, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation debuted the BBC dubbed version at 6 p.m. on weeknights, and since then, the show has been frequently repeated on the ABC, notably during the contemporary youth TV show Recovery,
Yes.
which aired episodes of Monkey weekly from 96 to 2000, and then when Recovery was put on hiatus, it was replaced with 3 hours of Monkey.
Hell yes.
52
Sorry, Dylan Lewis.
episodes.
Bye.
3
I'm
hours.
just going to play Monkey now.
So there's 52 episodes, and they didn't even all get translated. So I
Yeah.
think only 30-something were translated initially.
You're just
But-
trying to work out
So-
what the storyline is the whole time.
Was I reading that they did the rest of them for like a DVD release?
That's right,
Yeah?
yeah. Not too long ago. And so when they were playing 3 hours of it on ABC,
Sure.
what's that, like 6 episodes? And there's 30-something. So every
They're just-
6 weeks they're starting again.
Yeah.
I was like, this is why I've seen it so many times,
Yeah.
just because I just watched it every week.
Wow.
And yep, okay.
So the 2 monsters you were talking about, there's Sandy.
Sandy
He's
and
the sea
he's
monster
like
or
a
sea demon.
sea monstery ex-cannibal guy.
And he's cast out of heaven
Yep.
because he broke a
Jade cup.
Yeah. She was not happy about that.
And then she was weeping.
Yeah,
was
there was
very
tears.
upset.
It was-
And
yeah.
then there's Pigsy,
Pigsy.
who's what did he do? He was kicked out of heaven for loving too much.
Hidden sexual harassment.
Oh, okay, that's
Oh.
whoa.
That's what it was.
That is not
It
a
was-
that is not a Coco loving too much kind
No.
of situation.
I saw the setup bit, and I obviously didn't see what happened because the bit before it was someone was like, "You also have feelings for her, don't you?"
No, and then at
No,
the
she was
near the
running
end of it, she was
away.
running away, and he kept grabbing her. And
I missed the bit.
You've got to open your eyes to sexual
I've been
harassment.
doing some great research.
Yeah.
Classic guy
Yep.
closing his
Classic, yeah.
eyes to
Not-
discrimination.
La 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 la. Mm,
yeah,
it's all
he
around
was he sexually harassed the emperor's mistress.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So he got kicked out of heaven and landed in a piggery,
yeah.
and he ended up over the next 500
500
years morphed
years.
into a pig.
you. Mhm.
Yeah,
And-
which is weird because Sandy didn't like turn into a fish.
No, he did, but he
No.
did lose the sort of the top part of his hair
Yeah.
and his
Just
mustache.
has a weird haircut from then on.
Yeah.
I
sort of
don't
like
know.
a kind of like a
It's like
monk
a triangle
sort of thing.
in the middle, didn't it?
Oh, right. So
Isn't
he's
it?
got
Yeah.
a
Like a
fringe.
weird-
He's got
yeah.
bangs, but he's got missing the
Yeah.
circle.
Classic
on
fish kind of.
But he's also got a skull necklace, which is
Yeah, which I assume is like all the people that he's eaten because they always say ex-cannibal when they
right.
describe him.
Did they say that? Was that
That's weird.
in heaven he was an ex-cannibal?
Yeah,
Or the cannibal stuff was on Earth?
I don't know, but
How- how
would he
can you
get
be-
to
if you're a
heaven
demon-
if he was a cannibal?
Yeah. Also, are you a cannibal unless if you're a demon? Are you a cannibal unless you're eating other demons?
I was going to say if you just eat people,
That's not
that's
a
not
cannibal, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Hmm.
All right, this is something to research.
This comes up most weeks. What is a cannibal?
Yeah.
What is a cannibal to you?
to me, no, I don't.
It's mean that like that title follows him around as well. Like he's not a cannibal anymore, but he's
Ex.
constantly.
Well, it's
you're
like
an
you're-
cannibal.
yeah.
You know, like I know it's behind me. Stop bringing it
Yeah.
up.
What's the
I
point
don't
of
do it
Once,
changing?
is
anymore.
it? But is it once a cannibal, always a cannibal?
I
You just
guess
have to.
that's-
You're always taking one day at a time. He's on a
Right.
12-step
Yeah.
program.
Like an addict.
Exactly,
Sort of thing.
yeah.
Okay.
You're always an addict, but you're in recovery. Or,
Always a cannibal.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's why it's just safer to just not try it in the first place. That's what I'm most scared.
exactly.
In case you'd love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that taste.
Yeah.
I
Can't
mean,
stop.
'cause
If you were gonna eat a person, which bit would you go for though?
Mm.
It's a good question.
Just dark meat or white meat.
Oh, there's
Like
a lot
there's
of thought
different.
going into this.
Yeah.
I'd say too much thought.
No.
Well, I guess it means that you maybe haven't thought about it before.
Yeah.
Which
Which is good.
but you do work. You work at a farm and you eat meat, so you, in some ways, are kind of like a cannibal. You do
Well,
eat your
in
workmates.
many ways, I'm not a farm animal. But-
This is the first time
I
I've heard
mean-
Raewyn discuss the fact that she's a chicken.
yeah.
You're gonna go on the record?
Look, I'll say I'm not a chicken, but even if I was, I mean,
Brave.
chickens do eat their eggs. They can
Right.
eat their eggs. It's
Sure.
a good form of protein for
Yeah.
them, actually. So back
That's
off.
kind of what the point of them is, isn't
But
it?
also,
Yeah.
yeah.
So they eat them.
Well-
They sort of eat the
Yeah,
white
they
stuff
eat
on the way out.
yolk.
Oh, they eat the yolk. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Rad. Good on them.
I mean, that makes sense. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
if there's not
So
a
they've been grown
baby
up.
in there,
Yeah.
then
It's because they eat out the egg and then they hatch it. That's probably what happens. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a chickenologist either.
No.
is that what they're called?
But I've-
Chickenologists?
I'm a self-taught.
Self-taught.
Yeah.
Chickenologist.
Pretty high up in my field, to be honest.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're there with them every day.
Yeah,
You would know.
every day in the pen.
Every day going, I'm going to
Just-
eat you. I'm going to eat you, Tracy. You've
Talking about-
pecked me one too many
Yeah.
times today. I'm going to eat you and I'm going to eat your
the
kids.
last peck. I love you too much, Trace.
Too much.
Ugh.
Did you know this about David Weir, the guy who dubbed it?
Mm.
This is from an article on theconversation.com. In 1976, the BBC had commissioned him, David Weir, to dub an imported Japanese drama entitled The Water Margin. Weir managed to make a moderate success out of the show, despite the fact that Weir didn't understand a word of Japanese.
Yeah, see, this is this
Oh.
seems to happen with a lot of, well, not a lot. I can think of two. One of them being this show, that they get like half of a script when they are adapting stuff,
Yeah.
and so they just make it up. Like they get a general idea of what the story is, and then they just write all the rest of the dialogue. So it turns into like gag dub territory, where like because there's a scene in the pilot where he gets his staff. And it's basically just one big dick joke throughout the whole thing. And I'm like, I don't know if the original Japanese one had the dick joke in there.
I wonder.
I mean, it might have,
Maybe.
but I don't know. Did you guys ever watch Samurai Pizza Cats?
I do remember it. I remember the song vaguely.
Yeah.
Samurai Pizza Cats.
Yeah.
But I can't remember if I ever watched it or not.
Well, yeah, it was. I really loved it when I was a kid. And it was another one of the ones that I went back and watched like a couple of years ago. And its dub is just them making fun of the show the whole time, like
Right.
because they didn't get the scripts and they just had to make it all up. So it's just this tongue-in-cheek narrator the whole time, and it's hilarious. Like it's great, but like I want to know what the original show was because it's not a comedy.
It sounds like it's some sort of spoof of Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
Samurai Pizza
probably.
Cats.
Yeah. Or they started around oh no, Samurai would have been a few years later. So yeah, probably is. But they have like a slide from their pizza shop that they go down and they shoot out and then they're in
Really?
the and then they fly
Never
to
heard of this.
Really?
No.
All right.
Grow up, Raewyn. You got a lot to
Sounds
learn in
pretty
this
amazing.
world.
Oh,
Okay? You get out of the pig pen every now and then and take in a bit of culture.
just-
okay?
Yeah. Watch a bit of the ABC.
Yeah. Yeah. Guess I
Oh,
missed
just
out
a
on a
little
lot.
disappointed.
A lot of
Disappointed.
these awesome gags. These guys making up a story.
So good.
So following the success of The Water Margin, the conversation goes on to say he was asked to in 1979 to work his magic on a Japanese production of Journey to the West, which is the show Monkey. Considering Weir's monolinguistic capabilities, the BBC's translation of
he
monkey.
can only speak English. He doesn't know a word.
So
And he
it's-
knows no one who
Right.
speaks Japanese either, right?
Nah.
Like he cannot
It's pretty hard
employ
to find
someone.
one.
This is
It's pretty hard to
1978.
find.
You know, there's no mobile phones. You can't just jump on
No,
Wikipedia
no, that's
or
fair.
Google
That's
Translate. So yeah, he basically did a complete rewriting. It says he added plenty of puns, double entendres, and pseudo psychological musings. The BBC made this television show utterly compelling for adolescent audiences, despite the fact it became increasingly distanced to the original. British voice actors speaking in faux Oriental or Faux-Oriental accents completed the transformation of this tale, an approach that would be seen as rather distasteful. by
I was going to
today's
say,
standards.
I think now we probably just call it racist, but
I don't think you'd quite get away with that anymore.
no. I read somewhere that they were like, no, but we were impersonating what the original ones kind of sounded like. I'm like, no, that's worse. Don't say that. It's way worse.
I think, well, it is interesting, but it was clearly a different time. This isn't a
Yeah.
pre 9/11 world. You got to remember the world was different.
Yep.
Yeah.
We were more naive back then. We just didn't know. We didn't know.
We didn't know.
I say we like I was alive.
if you were
then, but
there, you were doing it.
It was me. We were all doing it. We were all translating Japanese dramas into sort of pun-heavy
Yep. Australian?
English
Compelling
comedies.
viewing.
Yeah. Okay. So, if you didn't cast the first stone,
Exactly.
the first monkey stone.
You're leaders
Monkey
in
stone.
your field.
Because he is from a stone.
He's from a stone.
Yeah.
He's
Stone
the
egg.
punkiest.
He's the punkiest monkey that ever
Mm.
popped.
Yeah, popped. What a
Yeah.
wild. It's a wild lyric.
Wild lyric.
So on this first episode, I guess we should tell the story of what we saw.
Sure.
Monkeys created from a stone. This all happens in a great, catchy sort of disco.
Yeah, something about a
rock.
phoenix needs feathers to fly.
Yep.
Yep.
And then,
That ancient proverb of
Yeah.
that.
so then he's born out of a stone.
Yep.
He leaps out of it. And at that stage,
Yeah.
we're in a full fursuit, which is the
Yeah,
only
he
time.
actually looks like a monkey. And I wonder if is he just like meant to be a monkey the whole way through like that, and he just looks like a man because they couldn't afford
Right.
stuff,
Yeah.
or
Well, because he
Is
was
it-
hanging out with all the other monkeys.
yeah.
You know, they were all going crazy at the start.
And there's a guy later on who's a dragon who just looks like a dude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It's very
wonder.
confusing.
Yeah, yeah. Are they? Yeah. Is it a budgetary?
Yeah, like
Restraints,
is he
or is
meant
it-
to be just a monkey running around, and they couldn't do CGI back then?
Because that makes
Yeah.
it very different.
It does
To me.
Yeah.
So then he's a fighter. He's fighting.
He's a
over
king. He's the monkey king.
Monkey King, and he's fighting
Yeah.
over a huge period of time, right?
Yeah,
He's
he's just constantly loud and fighting. He loves to fight.
But eventually, sort of this gets the attention of those up in heaven.
Well, I think that they get annoyed by how loud he's being on Earth.
Right.
I think that that's the whole thing. Is they basically are like, because the emperor can't sleep because monkey's being too loud
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
Earth, and so they're like, monkey has to be quiet, and so they bring him up to heaven to say so he'll shut up on Earth. I think that's
Right. Yeah, they're
Then
saying
he's
they're
just
bringing him
walking
in.
around with them. Like that created all the problems.
I-
Don't bring him up to you.
I know.
Like, leave him.
They did not think it
Why
through.
would you bring it closer?
So at first they try to bring him in by giving him a title of
stable boy,
yeah, but
yeah,
no, they,
it was like
director
master
of
of
the-
the s-
director
director of the stables.
which meant
cleaning up.
Cleaning
out
up
the
the.
manure.
Do you do that on
But
the
so
farm?
do they still have? Well, yeah, but you would think, why would they still have horses like in heaven?
Yes.
Everything's supposed to be beautiful.
Yeah.
I didn't see.
So you
one
reckon- you
horse
reckon
up
that-
there?
You reckon that
Let
they don't?
alone their poo.
Well, I reckon that the horses probably look like people.
Yeah,
Because
right.
everything, like the dragon looks like a dude and the monkey looks like a dude. So
But so
Oh.
that they still
don't
just shit
toilet
out.
Yeah.
in the-
people. Yeah,
They just-
People don't use toilets.
But do you have to poop in heaven? Like,
Well, surely you would. No,
because you have to eat.
Not in my
think-
heaven.
No, Well, definitely
No,
not. That's
exactly.
outlawed.
Yeah, that's weird. But once he figures that out, he's like, "This is not good enough."
Yeah, because he asks like, "What level of heaven am I?"
Yeah.
The guy's
Oh,
like-
that was
was a
that
great
was a
scene.
fun ride, wasn't it?
That was fun. that feels like that had to be pretty accurately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
translated.
because he's going down onto
demonstrating on
yeah.
like a list that you're not on this list.
Yeah.
You're way
You're-
below
And he
this
had
It's
list.
dirt
he had
beneath
to
my feet.
crouch down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it was brilliant.
So then he got given a new title after kicking up a stink
Yeah.
of guardian,
Protector of the
protector
peach garden.
and they'd been growing for millennia. Some of these peaches.
Yeah. So the peaches are like,
Again, seemed very foolish of them to be like, oh, let's
let's give the
have this
loud,
guy that we
annoying
don't
guy.
really trust. He's very far down the totem pole. He can't clean up horse manure.
Yeah.
Let's
Just
put him in
protect
charge of
the
our
very
sacred trees.
important peaches.
Which he quickly ate,
All of them.
giving himself
Immortality.
which is what he was after.
Yeah. So really, he got his way.
Yeah.
He got exactly what he wanted. He manipulated them masterfully,
Yeah.
unintentionally maybe, but perfectly.
And then they kicked him out as well as kicking out Pigsy for
Sexual harassment. Yep.
sexual harassment and Sandy for breaking a cup.
Yeah, it feels like a bit of a you broke a cup and you were
Maybe they're still a bit mad
And
about the
it-
cannibal stuff.
yeah, man,
Like just trying to find an excuse.
just get rid of him. I don't
Like,
care
yeah.
what it is.
He broke
He
the
hasn't
cup
eaten
trying
anyone
to.
in a while. I
That's
know how to
true.
do it. Oh, you broke the cup, mate. Get out.
What were you using that cup for? Eating
Yeah.
people? You eating
Yeah.
people with that
Was
cup?
there some
Definitely.
people in it. All right.
But he was trying to protect something,
He was trying to protect the cup. I think he thought it was going to break, so he picked it up.
so he picked it up and dropped it.
And but that is from memory. That's sort of his character through the show as they go on the journey. He's
Yeah.
always sort of the self-righteous, but also whiny kind of guy.
Yeah, and I remember him being my favorite character, and now I'm like, why?
Right. I was
Why?
a Pigsy fan. As a
Yeah,
kid.
fair enough.
Especially when
The sexual harassment.
Look. I don't think I ever saw the first episode.
No.
But I remember because I'm pretty sure as the series goes on, when he fights, he can transform into look more like a pig or less
I think
like
so.
a pig.
Yeah.
And that was just real fun as a kid to see a
Yeah,
guy
for sure.
with like a snorter. So you call it pig nose, Raewyn? Actually, I didn't even connect that. You were the perfect person to have on this episode about
Yeah.
a pig man.
Pig man.
You work with pigs most days.
Yeah.
And that's just the comedy industry.
Yep.
Oh, hello.
That's a bit cheeky.
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't start that sentence
Nah,
meaning
that's
to
a
zing
good
myself.
thing. You're supposed
No,
to
I
be a
was-
pig in comedy. That's
Right.
okay.
Gig pig.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Get your snout in the trough.
Get amongst it.
So they're all
there's a
that-
snout.
That's
Very good.
basically the whole.
No, snorter. We're
I
going
did
with
say snorter
Alright,
initially.
snout. Yeah,
Yeah.
but then
So-
you change it to snout. So.
right.
And then we are introduced
Alright.
also to Tripitaka,
Tripitaka.
who is a Buddhist
Priest.
monk priest.
Yeah.
Priestess.
Priest.
Sorry, it's in this. It's
A woman plays
woman
it,
playing it,
but it's supposed to be a
It's a
boy.
guy.
it always was a boy in the past.
Yeah.
And we meet him right at the end. 500 years has gone past.
Yep.
Monkey's been trapped under a rock. Everyone,
Yeah.
so
Well,
they've
he
all
gets,
been
he
banished.
gets banished for what, lying to Buddha, essentially.
Well, yeah. Well, she made a bet with
She
him.
did make a-
Or
yeah.
she. It was Buddha
They.
in female form.
Yeah.
And they bet that he couldn't fly out of her hand, and he flew out to what he thought was the end of the world.
Yep.
So it's
And
pretty
it was
good
the
trick,
5
though,
pillars at the end of the universe, but those 5 pillars turned out to be Buddha's fingers.
Yep.
One of which he pissed on.
Yeah. I definitely don't remember that.
Did I mean, it's the BBC dub isn't doing that.
I know.
You know, I
Yeah,
think
that's
I
true.
think it's a
That's
pretty
true.
cheeky show already.
No,
Yeah.
They did add the sound effects for it though, because you saw his face like really contort. Like,
Yeah.
It was a really good pee.
very-
And they added the nice little
good
sound
That's
effects.
true, yeah.
So he lost the bet that he said he could definitely fly out of her
Yeah.
hand, but he
And
never
because
did.
if he won it, he would be the ruler of heaven.
Right,
And then if he lost it, he gets trapped under a rock for 500 years.
which is what happened. So
Yeah.
and then right towards the end of the episode, that 500 years passed, we see Pigsy is
Chaos.
transformed into a pig,
Yep.
piggish man.
Yep.
You've got Sandy who's
With a new
Still in the ocean.
a few skulls around his
Yeah.
neck now. And you've got that's when we meet Tripitaka. People are plundering a
Yeah.
village,
Yeah.
the villagers, and he's
They're
just there.
about to kill him.
Yeah.
And
And
They all
he-
said so.
yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna
kept
kill you.
saying,
And he just doesn't react. He just keeps
No.
praying.
And they go, "Oh, they're not afraid of me. They must know something
They-
that I do not know." And then they
Let's run away.
And they just run.
and the whole village bows down.
It's a good
before
life lesson.
Him.
Yeah.
Yes. And so that's when they all come together, and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah.
From there, I guess they group together and they start their journey.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go back and watch the second episode because I don't remember how they all like meet each other.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Monkey's already met Pigsy and Sandy, and I guess Pigsy and Sandy probably know each other from heaven,
Right.
I guess.
Yeah.
But I
same
don't remember them
circles.
having like an additional relationship before that. I just like
Right.
I don't remember them liking each other particularly at all.
I was expecting this episode to be them meeting each other.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was too.
But it's
Maybe that's the
45
next
minutes
one.
and we didn't even get there.
They didn't.
Well, 'cause
It's very convoluted and long
Yeah.
for what is this? It's meant to be a children's show. Like, there's a lot of
Was it
storyline.
intended to be a children's show in Japan?
I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Because there is.
I mean, it'd be a weird adult show.
That's true.
Like, I mean, maybe, but I think it's
It's
meant to be
also
a
a weird
kids
kids show.
Yeah, it is.
To be honest.
What do you mean,
I
Raewyn?
don't know if
Do you want to know what happened to the actors?
Sure.
So I found an article on news.com.au, classic news source
Absolutely. Yeah.
that's
in
trust.
Australia.
Yep.
And it goes through each of the characters. You got Monkey. He was played by Masaki Sakai. So good. All the actors are great, but
Yeah, but he's
something about him is just such a
Yeah.
good actor. I love
he
his
really
character.
goes all in.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
there's no doubt in
I
his
think all of
expressions.
the
Like,
actors
he's
really ham it up. I feel
Yeah.
like they have a lot.
Especially
of fun.
Pigsy.
Yeah. Hey.
Sorry about that. So he was a big deal apparently in Japan even before Monkey came about. He'd been in a number of TV shows and also had a couple of hit songs with his band, The Spiders.
Ooh, he's a muso.
But Monkey made him an even bigger star, and Sakai told Rolling Stone, "The attention from fans during the show's run was intense. I was mobbed with fans every morning who would wait for me as I went to work," he said in 2000. "I would give them cans of juice."
So Japanese.
Post Monkey, Sakai continued acting and also hosted several TV shows, including It's the Kitchen
From monkey to kitchen.
and New Year's Stars Unique Tricks Competition.
Oh, yes.
In 2011, he married his third wife, who's 22 years younger.
Oh.
This article that goes player.
Oh,
P-L-A-Y. How
He's
fun
just
is that?
having some fun.
Who's
He's a player
Andrew
with
Bucklow.
his juice.
Player.
Player.
I don't know if you can pull off player, Andrew Bucklaw.
No. No.
Looking at
I don't
your
think that's your
byline
word.
picture. He just looks. I don't think he's ever said that out loud.
No, I guarantee you he has not.
He's now 70, or at the time of this article, which was almost 2 years ago. So he'd be about 72 now.
Sure.
Oh, so 22 years younger, isn't it?
Yeah,
His
it's-
wife would be 50.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Still not
a-
great.
I mean, it's
Vicky,
still a
why are
player
you so
move.
ageist?
I'm definitely ageist when it comes to relationship
Hey,
gaps. Absolutely.
Don't hate the player. Don't hate the player.
Hate the
Vicky.
game.
Hate the game.
He could be her dad.
Well,
I mean,
she could
if
also
that's
be
the case,
a consenting adult, Vicky.
Yeah.
Sure.
Very much in love.
she has agency.
Sure.
She's a strong, independent woman,
Yeah,
probably.
okay.
And here you are saying who she can and can't marry.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's
Where do you get off?
Inherent power dynamics.
Right. His last on-screen role was in the 2012 movie Beautiful World.
So he's retired.
And it also mentions, I think it sounds like he has. I reckon we could bring him back out of retirement, though.
Yeah.
get him to come on the pod.
Oh, that would be a dream.
That would be a real dream. Bloody hell, imagine. Apparently, this sideburns weren't real.
Oh, what?
It's a bummer because that's a great part of his look.
It really
It's all about
is.
the sideburns and the metal
and the metal
crown,
crown thingy. Yeah,
which
or
gives
headband.
him
It's
a
almost
headache.
like that's the
Well, no,
only
Trippy
way
Taka
you
can
tell
squeeze
he's
it
a
on his
little-
head.
Oh, right. That's
So
how
like
it
when
gets-
he's out of line, he magics it tighter
right.
so that it's like a
Just
collar
hurts
on it, like a
monkey.
zappy
You'd think
collar on
like
a
you
dog.
just take it off then.
But it's so tight around his skull.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He looks different without it. It's funny that it's,
Yeah.
it's a thin gold
Yeah.
band around his head, but in this episode where he's not wearing it,
Yeah,
for
he
a lot
does
of it,
look
you're like,
weird.
Ah, okay.
Let's talk about Tripitaka.
Sure.
The role of the young male monk was played by female actor Masako Natsumi. The actor who played Monkey, who we just talked about, Sakai, told Rolling Stone he did a lot of... I mean, he did as much research for his news.com articles I did on this. He looked at, I'm assuming, at the same Rolling Stone article. And he said they gave the role to a female to generate buzz about the show. If only men were used to it, if only men were used, it would not be interesting, he said. And by shaving her hair, it added to the buzz that was generated by the program.
She was definitely wearing a
Added to the
bald
buzz
cap.
cut.
That's what I thought in that.
Definitely wearing a bald cap in that first one.
So I'm guessing maybe that's the pilot. And
Right. And then they
she
thought
didn't commit to it
she didn't commit to it until it was actually taken to
That's
series.
fair.
I had the exact same thought. She continued acting after Monkey appearing on stage and in TV and film. But in 1985, she died of leukemia, just 27 years of age.
Oh, she's part of the 27 Club.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's sad.
It
Why'd
is
you bring
sad.
that up?
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's a real downer for the podcast.
Sorry, I shouldn't have.
I guess it's life.
Forever young.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, at least she's immortalized.
That's right. Yeah, it's great in this role. And Pigsy is played by Toshiyuki Nishida
In the first
in the first season. And
because
in
it's
the-
a different one,
Oh,
yeah. In the
That's
second
right.
one.
Tonpei Hidari
Sure.
in the second season. But Nishida accepted the role on another show before he found out there was going to be a second season. So that's why he had to.
Classic era.
Yeah. He's considered to be one of the greatest actors in Japan.
Huh.
And
From
went-
this role, right? Just from like Pixie.
he went on to
He
star
really
in-
went method and like he was living amongst the pigs. It's beautiful to watch.
He apparently was in a 2008 film with Brittany Murphy called The Ramen Girl. Have you heard of that?
No.
Nishida's received 10 Japanese Academy Award nominations during his career. And the 69-year-old, so 71-year-old, is currently filming a film, Outrage, Final Chapter. So that must be out already. So he's still acting.
Still doing it. Good on him.
Yeah.
And then you've got Hidari, who played him in the second season. He was last seen on Japanese TV screens in the 2016 miniseries called Kozure Shinbi. So he's still going as well.
Awesome.
I'd tell you what, I'd take it back what I said about Andrew Bucklow. This article, I reckon he himself is a player. And I reckon he probably says it all the time.
Yeah.
Sandy, this is what Bucklow talks about Sandy. He says Shiro Kishibe played Sandy, a water monster and former cannibal.
Yeah. Well,
He's moved on.
Yeah.
Why are we still bringing it up?
he's
Pronounced.
forever pinned with that.
He went on to act beyond Monkey and hosted an entertainment talk show for a few years. But then it all went wrong, according to an interview with Masaki Sakai from 2000, maybe from Rolling Stone.
Rolling Stone, I reckon.
Shiro Kishibe, who played Sandy, left acting only to go bankrupt after investing in too much antiques.
What?
Oh, no.
Jade cups.
Jade cups. He never recovered.
breaking them.
He kept breaking them. He was
He
the
keeps
last guy should be
investing.
investing.
This will be the one.
Smash.
No.
No, this was from a different article. This was from an article with The Age. So
wow.
we did read around.
That actually took it from the Rolling Stone.
Yeah, that's right. Kishibe returned to acting in the mid-2000s and was last seen on screen in 2009 episode of the drama series Reset. And then there's this character Horse, who I don't recall at all.
I don't remember that character either. When I did the research of this, they're like, oh, yeah, and there's a horse that used to be a dragon. And I'm like, I don't remember the horse.
I don't remember
because
the
they
horse.
have a horse that like
Yes.
Tripitaka rides on.
Is that?
Yeah.
That's
maybe
the horse, but apparently he turns into a human sometimes. And I
that
was like,
does vaguely ring a bell, actually, now.
I don't.
Yeah, I think I
maybe,
was reading
but
that
I
too.
don't-
Because I've never seen any of them, but I was reading. Yeah, that there was this other character. There was a dragon.
Yeah.
and he accidentally, or maybe on purpose, ate the horse, the original horse. But
Right.
then like got a bit embarrassed, and so decided, well, now I just have to be the horse, so they'll never know.
Right.
I've just got, so yeah, it says Wait, I wasn't listening. I was reading probably what you just said. Did you just
This
explain?
is the same thing. He doesn't look at sexual
Yeah.
harassment and he doesn't listen to women.
Just totally blanking me.
You just said that a monster ate the horse.
Yeah,
and
dragon.
then-
Damn it. Exactly what she just said.
I'm like,
Nah,
great,
you're right,
when you
mate,
keep
you
talking,
can-
I think I found the answer.
If you wanna explain it again.
I think I've got this one.
Yeah, the listeners will hear it once Matt says it.
So horse. Thank you so much for that explanation. No, but
I was just riffing while you.
the actor who
That's
played
okay.
horse was Shunji Fujimura. And he also had a steady acting career after Monkey and is best known for playing Watari in Death Note in 2006
Ooh.
and Death Note 2. He died in January 2017 at 82 years of age.
I know Death Note. That's the only other thing that we've said here that I've heard of ever.
Yeah, right.
So
What's Death Note's deal?
it's an anime and manga that was a guy gets a book that he can write names in and then they die.
Right.
So like he becomes like
That's a lot of power.
yeah, exactly, a lot of, and like this demon comes and tells him, and yeah, it's basically him deciding who he wants to kill.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, this guy obviously he played a horse
Yep.
and he was in
Death Note.
Death Note. So
Yeah.
I mean, what else
It's really
can you
the
do?
breakout role as the horse that
Sure.
led him to.
And there's a they also mention here that the English dub of Horse was done by Andrew Sachs, who played Manuel in
Manuel.
Fawlty Towers.
Oh.
Interesting.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now I wish I remembered who with the horse character.
Yeah. And how often he pops into
Yeah.
the show.
How is he? Yeah. Because obviously he's a horse most of the time because Trippy Tucker rides the
yeah,
horse.
I remember the horse.
Like he doesn't walk anywhere really. He's just always on the horse.
Mate, get off the horse.
Get off the horse.
Stop being the horse.
Yeah, it's weird that he was like,
You know
"Ooh,
that there's
whoops,
a-
I ate the horse. I better be the horse. Like,
Just
that's-
get another horse.
Get another horse.
Mate, go to the horse shops. You're a monster.
Yeah,
You're going to
Just-
dedicate your whole life to being a
to
horse?
being a horse now just because you ate a horse.
Rather than just popping down to the corner horse
Yeah.
shop.
He obviously felt really bad.
Figure it out, man.
Yeah. I
What?
don't-
So watching it again, Raewyn, this is the first time you saw it.
Mm.
Vicky, this is the first time you'd seen it in a little
In
while.
a little while, yeah.
How did you find it? What did it meet your sort of memories?
Well, I mean, this episode is a bit different because they're not together and they're not traveling to India, which is what the rest of the entire show was.
Is it?
So-
So the rest of the show is just them fighting.
Yeah, it's like Monster of the Week
Oh,
kind of TV
okay.
show where they just come up against a different problem every week, but they're
Mhm.
like consistently
They're like-
riding.
They're like Hercules.
Yeah, exactly like
Okay,
Hercules.
I get
Yeah,
it.
It's like
exactly.
Scooby Doo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's exactly like
exactly
Scooby-Doo.
like
Okay.
Scooby-Doo. A lot of masks involved.
Great.
Scooby
was a horse. It's real confusing.
But I think like it was maybe a bit more tongue in cheek than I remember it. Like I remember it being campy and all that sort of stuff, but there was more dick jokes than I remember
Yeah,
as
I
a
don't-
child.
I don't remember the dick jokes and I don't remember the death.
No, I don't. Yeah, like Monkey kills a guy at the start.
Yeah, there's
Like I
That
definitely,
was light killing.
I know,
Like,
but I
you
definitely
didn't, see it
didn't
happen.
think that was a thing that he did.
it was just off screen, but you could see that he was definitely driving
he
it.
plunged a massive machete into a guy's chest.
And there was later on there was a sword that went through a chest.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't remember that, but I just wouldn't have known what was going on.
Yeah, I reckon I was. Yeah, because I definitely watched it before it was on Recovery. And what did you say? 1996. It started on Recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think I watched it before that, and
yeah,
then I
it was
watched it
nostalgic
again.
to me.
Yeah,
Then.
yeah.
So I reckon I watched it in like the late 80s or maybe even, I don't know.
Yeah, I reckon
sometime
maybe
in the 80s.
early 90s I probably watched it and then watched it again when it came back on
Yeah.
in the mid
It's
to
funny how
to
quickly
late
you can
90s.
be nostalgic
already
about something when you're a
nostalgic.
kid.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm 12 now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that from when I was
Yeah.
8. My
When
God.
I was
a
so
little
far.
kid.
Yeah.
And Ryan, what was your first impression? Had you ever heard of it?
Yeah, yep. No, I definitely heard of it. And I guess especially more recently with the new
Oh, yeah, the
remake.
reboot.
But I haven't seen that either. I haven't seen the remake.
Well, I think we're
Yeah.
gonna have to we'll do an episode soon about that. If
Yeah,
go for it.
I've been avoiding
Yeah,
it,
I
but
wonder if they kept
I'll
like,
watch
the
it.
main theme song when the theme song came on. I was like, oh yeah,
I remember
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone
Um,
knows the theme song.
Yeah, I was actually. Do you get to facts?
facts. Do you have
yeah.
facts?
Yeah, 'cause
I'd love
I
to hear
was-
your facts.
Oh, I was looking up some because I.
I mean,
had
everything
no,
I've said has been a fact. so
Everything.
far.
Everything.
Well,
I don't know. When do I
don't-
get
don't
to
know
facts?
If you get to them.
I'm not making-
If at some point
I'm not making this up.
you've got some truth here, please enlighten us. But though I was reading one that was, it's always been in English. That one. It
The
was
song.
Never, yeah. It was
Yeah,
never,
yeah.
It was
Right.
never ever Japanese, and they rebooted it. It was always English.
I read-
and the guy,
Yeah.
still
Here we go. Still does it. Like he
so
still performs
He's a legitimate musician in this band, and he still does that song
every
all the time.
performance.
Right. So it's a
So
big hit.
good.
Yeah.
I'd love
I
to
reckon
see
he. Do you reckon it's his encore, or do you reckon he closes the first?
I can
bit?
open and close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or it's just that 17 times in
Yeah.
a
It's Vanilla Ice doing
Yeah.
Ice
Yeah.
Ice Baby.
row.
Wow.
That's cool. I did not know that. So
Yeah.
the Japanese original run had an English
That song.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is interesting.
because that does tell the setup of the show. So I guess
I
that's
guess
probably
it's-
what he worked off.
Yeah.
Hey, Weir, David
And,
Weir. So, you know,
yeah.
You can work off this
I guess the fact that
30 seconds
it's
of info.
got the lyric, the punkiest monkey that ever popped, and he kind of got the
Yeah.
gauge for the show
Yeah.
from that.
Mm.
Like, I think that gives like at least a bit of
Yeah.
a
It's a
idea.
bit
I'm-
loose.
I'm
It's a bit
thinking
that-
tongue in cheek, you know.
That pole scene,
Very
was, I
punky.
reckon, originally had dick jokes.
You reckon?
I'm starting to think
Yeah.
so.
Well, I guess if it's got him peeing on a hand later,
Mm.
Yeah.
probably has a dick joke. earlier
Buddha's
on.
hand.
Yeah, Buddha's hand. Yeah. Mm.
That was funny because we
Funny,
saw her
I
looking
thought she
at
would
him
reference
pissing.
she's-
that. Yeah, that she'd be like, that she was going to turn the hand around to
Yeah.
show like the stain mark.
By
or
the way,
something.
yeah, she did. She was like, "Oh, and also you
really.
pissed on my hand."
She
Imagine
should've
if it was
flipped
on
it.
yeah. Rain down and imagine if it was like on the middle finger as well. That is
Ugh.
just, that's perfect. So you get back at him.
I think I think it was pretty much as I remembered.
Yeah.
Even though I haven't seen it in, I reckon, nearly 20 years or something.
Yeah, it's definitely been a while.
But it was, just a few of the effects. I obviously, my standards were different
Yes,
20 years ago. But
Yeah.
you'd see, like, when it was played on Recovery, it would be like the cloud. It looked like such a flimsy,
Yeah.
drawn on cloud.
I do remember that
Yeah.
being better.
It just looked like a bright light.
It's
Like,
a fluffy
like
light.
Someone just had this light. behind the
Yeah,
film.
but
Yeah.
I thought it had held up pretty well. I think it was
Yeah.
also fun and funny and
Yeah, it's
I'd-
kind of like going back and
yeah,
watching
it was
like
interesting.
old episodes of like Doctor Who and stuff like that. Like the effects are kind of
Yeah.
similar.
A
right.
bit
Like
clunky.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
But like there's a nostalgic charm to it.
Because I never liked Doctor Who. I
Right.
never watched it.
Oh.
There's no
Interesting.
nostalgic
Sure.
charm to it. It's
Oh,
just
yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
oh, this is yuck.
What is this?
It's
Yeah,
the colanders and stuff, the kitchen utensil bad guys. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't like this.
yeah. But if you watch that, like, because that was like a TV show that I watched with like my family and stuff
Right.
like that. So I look at it and go, oh,
Yeah.
it's so cute.
Yeah.
That's what I
totally.
did when I was a kid.
Well, that's why it's interesting to hear Raewyn, what she thinks of a show.
Yeah,
she doesn't have
you
that.
never saw it
What do you genuinely,
it
did you
was-
enjoy it on any level at all?
at all.
At
We
all.
sat here for a long time
Yeah,
watching
That
it.
was 40 minutes. I don't think I would watch it
No.
in my spare time. Like that's not.
It's got it's
I
got to
don't
be.
think so. But no, there were elements that it's like, oh, that's a bit of fun.
Yeah.
I get that. But yeah, it was interesting because it said in a few different places that the budget was so small.
Yeah.
And yet they really try to make it so,
So
elaborate.
big,
Like
yeah.
all of their
So-
helmets
yeah,
are like
yeah.
these weird.
Well-
like maybe it's just cardboard and they're just like.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah.
And
it
all the
was
scenes in
so-
heaven and stuff, like they could
Yeah,
have.
why did they make it so elaborate? Surely they could have.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
probably didn't need to have
The
heaven,
corners.
it could have been just on Earth. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. And also, I read that it just got, like, it was really popular and then they just had to stop making it because they had no money left. So the series just ends.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, it
right.
never
Oh,
actually-
they never arrive.
Yeah. No, they never arrive. They never get where they're
Oh.
going.
What a curse.
Yeah.
Forever on the journey. We normally give a rating of the show or the topic out of bananas. How many
Sure.
bananas out of whatever size bunch you would, however big your bunch would be?
Whoa. So
And
there's
how
no
ripe-
limit.
Okay, so
how
you
ripe
don't
are the
have-
bananas as well?
Oh.
A lot of factors to consider.
Yeah. How big is your
Um,
bunch, Raewyn?
How big? Well, I would say I was like that. It would be lots of overripe bananas.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it would be
Ready for smoothies.
Yeah. It's a bit overdone.
Okay.
You know? Are you
But
getting
you give,
that analogy?
but you give a lot. Many
Uh,
bananas. How many is
Oh,
many?
yeah. I'd get. I mean, you could make a big smoothie.
Yeah.
But maybe five.
Five banana
overripe
smoothies?
bananas. Yeah.
And how big's your bunch? 5 out of how many
I don't know.
bananas did you take away?
Multiply by the 2. I don't know, Matt.
This is
Look,
no one. Everyone else has been on this.
When you have such arbitrary, like,
You're the
let's
first
just
person
leave
who
it
didn't-
with 5 overripe bananas.
Okay, I'd love to know how big the bunch is, but sure.
Mm.
I'm picturing 7, but it's hard.
I
to
was
know.
going to say 8.
8.
Oh.
8. How many? Out
Well,
of the
if
8
we're
do you give
going with the overripe ones, because I get your metaphor there.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, if it's a bunch of 8, I'm gonna go with 7.
7 out of 8
Yeah.
overripe bananas.
Overripe.
Very ripe.
That'd be
Overripe.
enough to make some banana bread.
Yeah, I reckon I can make a smoothie and some bread to go with the smoothie.
Whoa.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a
Lot
good
of
show.
bananas.
Yeah, right.
That's a good experience
It's a
for
lot.
everyone.
It's a great time.
Yeah.
I'm going to say these bananas are perfectly ripened.
Whoa.
Okay.
And I'm going to give it 5 out of 8 perfectly ripened bananas.
Ooh.
Really?
Spot on.
That's a very
It was a
high
good
No
time.
score.
spot on.
No spot on, sorry.
Thank you.
No spot on these bananas. They're just
They're
pre-spot.
just pre-spot. Wow.
The other thing we do at the end of talking about the topic is we try to relate ourselves to the primate on screen.
Okay.
One of the first guests we had on this podcast was scientist and comedian Andy Matthews. He's some sort of scientist. I forget what
As
kind.
we all are.
The self-taught
Well, okay.
scientist.
Hey,
Yeah.
I bet he's an actual one. I
Yeah,
think
he
he did science at a university
he did.
of a type.
Yeah.
So aren't we all?
Aren't we all?
How dare you?
Well, you're a self-taught scientist.
well, yeah,
Why
I'm a
can't I
scientist.
be one?
Oh no, you can. Be.
Okay, good. Thank
Sorry.
you.
No, you're right.
That was a very quick backtrack. Yeah, no, don't let me limit you. It's fine. My eyes are open. Ah!
Anyway, he told us that chimpanzees and humans share about 98% DNA
Sure.
in common, right? How much of your DNA, personally, Raewyn, do you see in Monkey from Monkey Magic?
In monkey.
And why?
I could definitely say, some certainly cheeky aspects. I mean,
Yeah.
peeing on the fingers for sure.
You would do that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure.
But I've long thought that I don't want to be immortal. I don't think I would like it.
Mm-mm.
Ah,
So
not at all.
I don't think I would have that craving to eat the peaches.
Yep.
So in that respect, I think we're quite different. So maybe 61%.
61%.
61.
Yeah, that feels right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
How about you, Vic?
Probably a lot lower. Like I'm a bit sassy, but maybe not cheeky.
Not cheeky. Oh.
But yeah, I wouldn't have ate the peaches either because immortality seems like a curse, like an actual curse, not a joy to have it all.
No.
So maybe like 30-ish%.
30-ish%, right.
Mm,
Yeah.
that's quite low.
I say I feel like it's looking into a mirror for me.
Yeah.
I'd be immortal
He's
for
very
sure.
arrogant.
Would you?
I love
Really?
I'd love to live forever for
Nah.
sure.
Why?
Is that a real answer?
Yeah.
Would you?
I'd be keen. Ideally, everyone else would as well.
Nah,
Nah.
it's you, and then you get to watch all your friends
No, I don't
die.
want to. I don't want to live that
No.
cursed
Okay, so if
immortality.
there
I just
if
want.
there
I just
are-
want life to go on.
Sure. Well, yeah, but that's not what immortality is.
It
Like,
is if everyone
If
has
everything,
Right.
if you fed everyone the peach.
it. Yeah,
then
that's
also
right. I'd
you
be
fed
collecting.
the
I'd be
world the peach.
turning my shirt up and
Yeah.
collecting
Getting everyone
peaches in there.
peaches.
Yeah.
Would you get
Millions
it for
of
everyone?
Peaches
For how much?
free.
Oh.
Yeah. They come. I'd put them in a
all right.
can. I'd send them out to supermarkets. Everyone eats the peaches.
Great. I reckon that might have a lot of impact on the world if everyone just stayed alive.
But it
forever.
also makes you sterile.
Okay.
Like an episode of a kids
That's
show
a
I
nice
saw.
little footnote.
Sure.
I think there was some kid show I saw ages ago, where
Everyone was
the
sterile.
one
Kids.
dimension they were in, it was like everyone was immortal. They stayed the same age forever. but they made the deal that made them infertile as well.
What age do you get to pick, or
I think it's whatever age they were. So people would grow up and they'd, do it at whatever the peak age was.
Right.
But it meant that all the kids grew up.
Yeah, so
and
population
popped
stays
out.
the same.
Yeah, so everyone's about the same. So these kids who were
that's a good idea.
traveling through dimensions
Sure.
got there and they were like, we're going to make you have the
Oh,
immortality pill
no.
and stay a kid forever, and we're going to share you around because we don't have kids anymore and we're all missing having...
Oh,
Isn't that... What a nightmare.
God, what show is this?
Share you around.
I can't quite put my finger on what it was, but I'm pretty sure an Australian kids show.
Oh.
Yeah, I can't quite remember. But it was that one where they had threw fireballs. Does that ring any bells?
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z in this country.
Oh,
thank you.
sorry.
No, I can't quite put my finger. I think that's a real memory. If not, that's my idea. I call
Yeah,
it.
fuck. What a brutal show. Dimension. The only interdimension thing I can think of right now is Sliders, and it's not that.
No, Sliders is one of my favorites. My favorite memory of Sliders, which I talk about all the time to anyone who listen, is where they must have been running out of budget and ideas because they, at the end of one episode, they got to this new dimension and new reality, and everything seemed exactly the same. He's like, oh, this could be. I finally maybe found my reality.
We got home.
But there was only one difference, and that difference was all the women had goatees.
So close.
I mean, it's good enough, right? It's like the episode of The Simpsons where he finally gets home, but they're eat with their snake tongues.
Yeah, that's
You're
right.
like, close enough.
Even
That's
though
fine.
he just missed out on living in a
Donut
donut raining
world.
world.
No.
What's a donut?
What's a donut? Oh.
Heartbreaking. So yeah, I'd say about 92%.
Really?
Yeah. I just don't have the skills of him, but I have all.
The characteristics. Sure.
I'm a real
The real
jerk, but I
Simons.
think I'm on a
Jerk with
I'm
a heart of gold.
Yeah,
Yeah.
journey to. I think as the series goes on, he becomes more likable.
Well, this is the thing.
he?
He spent 500 years in a rock, and not at one point did he go, "Oh, maybe I should think about what I've
Yeah.
done." He's just
500 years later, he's gone.
Just let me out.
Let me out.
I'll get you,
Yeah.
but let me out. Please.
That's real funny. That was a great bit. How he's like pleading with, please, come on, let me out. I'll do anything. Oh, you'll pay. You'll pay for it. Let me out and you'll pay. No, please. Come on, please. That's good fun.
Yeah.
To finish off the show, we do some Patreon shout-outs. So there's some Patreon supporters to the Do Go On mini network, which includes the podcast Do Go On. Also Book Cheat, which is Dave Warnicki's podcast about different books. This week he's done one about a Jane Austen novel.
Sure.
With guests Jess Perkins and Broden Kelly from Auntie Donna. The Do Go On episode this week is about Lassiter's Gold Reef. It's an amazing story. It's an
From Neighbours.
I think I
Yeah.
mentioned Lassiter's
Okay,
in it, and Dave and Jess had no idea what I was talking about. But it's about a guy who he believed that he found the biggest gold reef of all time. This kilometers long, just solid gold rock in the middle of Australia, and it's about him organising an expedition that is a huge disaster to go find it.
Amazing.
So yeah, that's
That'll
a real
be
fun
good.
episode. If you want to check out Do Go On. But if you do support these podcasts at patreon.com/Do Go On pod, one of the rewards is you get shout outs at the end of Primates. And along with that, you get to tell me what your favourite primate is. So I'm going to tell you 4 of our
Okay.
patrons and their favourite primates. I'd love to hear what your opinions on these are.
Yeah.
This is from Christopher McAuliffe. He says, my favourite primate is Sasquatch.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a good one.
He says that, which ties in nicely to a sports mascot you should do. His name is Squatch, and he was the mascot for the Seattle Supersonics before they were stolen.
Oh, no.
And he's given me a link.
Who's got
So
him?
we used to do a segment on this called Primate Sporting Mascot of the Week.
Sure.
But we
I guess
started
there's a
running
finite
out of...
amount of
Yeah.
those.
There really weren't as many as I thought there would be. Gorillas are a great sporting mascot. But anyway, I'm just looking on the Wikipedia for Squatch here. He looks great. He looks like he's just a classic sort of Harry and the Hendersons look there.
Oh, yeah.
The Supersonics.
A little bit Chewbacca-ish.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
there
say,
is a bit of
little bit
Chewbacca there about him. Says, how's this for a coincidence. In 2007, Chris Bailey of the rock band The Presidents of the United States of America, who
Hey,
sang
we just
Peaches,
referenced that.
wrote and performed a song about the mascot.
Amazing.
That same year, Squatch attempted to set a world record with a jump of 30 feet on inline skates
Whoa.
over vehicles owned by NBA players Ray Allen and Robert Swift.
So he's a
It says he attempted it, which
rollerblader.
means
No, I think he
didn't?
broke a couple ankles.
and a
Um,
car, I reckon, as
yeah.
well.
So Squatch is Sasquatch is a Yeti. Is a Bigfoot.
Yeah,
Or-
they're all
yeah.
different
They're all
versions of a similar
Yeti's
thing.
the
Okay.
Himalaya one.
Yeah.
Sasquatch is the North American one.
Mm.
Slash
The-
Bigfoot.
And so
yeah.
Bigfoot's the
Yowie
Sasquatch, yeah.
is
Yeah,
the
it's Australian.
Australian one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, so when the Supersonics got bought by Oklahoma City, they were moved. The character was retired.
Oh,
Um,
no
But it
Sasquatch
does
is in
remain-
Oklahoma.
as
Hung
part
the
of the
fur up.
intellectual property.
Oh,
So,
right. So
yeah.
no one else can have it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's.
Thanks, Chris.
But apparently, the same guy is now performing as Rumble the Bison, which is the Thunder's mascot, the new team. In
Wow.
Yeah, well,
Oklahoma
they didn't
City.
fire the guy. They fired the.
It's like, sorry, mate.
he's
Your
got a-
Sasquatch or nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got a unique set of skills
Yep.
that he can transfer. Good on him. Can
Bigfoot
travel.
only.
So thanks so much for that, Christopher. Bringing back briefly the Primate Sporting Mascot of the Week segment.
Yeah.
Great.
Danik McMeans said that his favourite primate is the orangutan because they seem like the best of all the apes and have a great face.
They do have a great face.
And a great face.
It's
Especially
very
the
round
the
face.
the male elders.
Oh, yeah.
With the big wads.
Yep.
Love
So
those
good.
big,
Yeah.
big flanges on the side of their faces.
That's a good name.
Thanks so much,
Yeah.
Danny. Orangutans, I reckon that they do come in often as most. They'd be
They're
right
great.
up there
So
with
it
me
just
too.
seems so gentle. Maybe
Yeah,
people are a
gentle
bit scared
giants.
of the other one. Like gorillas can be a little bit feisty.
But they're also
Orangutans
pretty
seem
gentle
very
often.
gentle.
But orangutans do as well. It's the
Yeah.
chimps.
The eyes.
Chimps
yeah.
are the, yeah.
The chimps are the, yeah, they're scary.
Yeah.
Sam Henson says, my favorite primate from pop culture is the librarian from Terry Pratchett's Discworld series. He was a wizard/librarian who accidentally got turned into an orangutan,
Oh no.
but
Another
refuses to be
orangutan.
transformed back. He is known for his violent reaction whenever he hears anyone refer to him as a monkey. Orangutans are
Yeah.
apes, as you know.
Yeah.
That's something that
sounds
I didn't
legit.
mention
That
from
sounds legit.
Monkey Magic. A few times they said ape,
They do, yeah.
and it's like, you pieces of shit. They're trying to get at him, but he
Yeah.
doesn't seem to flinch.
No, he doesn't. Maybe because he does not know.
Well, yeah, I wonder what kind of monkey he is though. Like maybe
Yeah, they do never specify.
No.
They
Yeah,
just say
just
he's
monkey.
the king of the monkeys.
maybe he is an ape. You know?
Apes,
You
you
just
think
don't know.
apes
You
are
can think
kings of
apes,
monkeys?
apes are the king of the monkeys.
And you work
Well,
with
no, I
animals.
said maybe he is an ape. He's not a monkey. Who knows?
But he's the monkey king.
This
Who
is
knows?
this is starting to get a little bit fierce in here. You guys, I know that
I've never
everyone's
read.
got strong opinions.
I've never read Discworld. I've really wanted to, and just there's so many
yeah.
books. There's so many.
But there won't be
Remember
any
reading a
more.
couple.
No, there won't be any more.
I've read a couple and they are.
Way to
I'm
bring
putting my
it
foot down.
Yeah.
They are great fun.
Yeah, they seem it. They seem like something I would really love.
Andy Matthews, that scientist we were talking about.
Oh, yeah,
before,
I know him.
He's read every single one. So he's going to come and do an episode about it at some point. We're going to do a librarian special. And finally, Eric Flynn. He says, it has to be Caesar from Planet of the Apes, played by Andy Serkis. Just
Yeah,
such a
right.
great character who has been beaten by so much loss, who continues to be the leader his society needs.
Sure, I love those movies.
Yeah.
Same.
That was
Really
great.
great.
They're the
think
inspiration for this show.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I
fair enough.
nearly cried when he goes, no.
Oh,
So
so
that's a
good. What a
beautiful
moment.
moment.
Oh, what
I
a
really
moment.
like the God, I can't remember the name. The orangutan in that.
Morris.
Morris.
Oh,
Maurice.
yeah.
More,
Yeah.
yeah. And
He's
like
so good.
how he
Yeah.
looks after the little girl
And
and
he's riding the horse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
I
Maury
often
fan.
wonder, yeah, like really tiny little legs. How does he stay on? You know, very powerful thighs, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Clench.
The answer. Yeah.
Crunch
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us to the end of the episode. Any final thoughts about Monkey Magic, the show? Will you go watch some
Final
more?
thoughts.
Raewyn, you've said no. Have you changed your mind in the
Although
last 10 minutes?
I might, I would be interested to say the differences. So I might watch
Just
the
the
newer
next step.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch the new one. I reckon.
I think we'll do an episode on that soon.
Okay.
If the people want it, let us know.
Yeah.
Where can people find you, Vicky?
Me. You can listen to my podcast, which is on the Planet Broadcasting Network, which is called Vic and M's Comedy Gems. We talk to comedians and have a bit of a chat and a laugh. I
Awesome.
guess.
I'll put a link to that.
Yeah,
in
do
the
that. And you
notes.
can find all of my other comedy stuff at handsdowncomedy.com
Awesome.
because it's way too long to list all the stuff that I've got going on.
Yeah, you're producing a bunch of shows
Yeah.
and upcoming festivals.
Yes.
Raewyn, where can people? What's your best social media?
I've got a Facebook page now, and so you can go like that, and I'll be doing a bunch of promo for comedy festival coming up, which I'm at the room that Vicky is organising. So that's really exciting at the Cooper's Inn during the comedy.
What's the
festival.
show called?
It's called Lovely.
Lovely.
Exclamation mark.
Ben Searle.
With Ben Searle.
And I'll put a link to that as well. And yes, thank you both so much for joining us. If people want to find Primates online, it's at PrimatesPod on Twitter, Instagram, and Primates on Facebook. Also, primatespod@gmail.com for email. If you want to find me, I'm Matt_art on Twitter, and I'm Matt Stewart Comedy on Facebook and Instagram, and my website is mattstewartcomedy.com. If you go /gigs, you can see my upcoming shows in Perth, which I leave for next week. Adelaide, Brisbane, Melbourne, and Sydney. I can't remember if it's been announced yet, but that's coming up soon. That'll be on there.
I heard it here first.
And if you use the discount code DOGOON, you get a discount of some description. And it'll be really great to see you. I'm actually selling, I don't think I've mentioned this yet.
Whoa.
I've got Primates beanies made.
Really?
Ooh.
So they're
That's
these
pretty
cool
cool.
orange and black beanies. And I'll be selling them after the shows if
I love
people
a
are keen to
beanie.
come
It's
on.
great.
Yeah, in Perth in summer, they're going to sell like
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to love it.
yeah, they definitely need them over there. I'll be in Perth next week, so it'd be so cool to see you there. And check out mattstewartcomedy.com/gigs for that. Also, if you can give us a 5-star review for Primates online, I'm going to start reading a few of them out. So, make them fun, and I'll read a few of them out in coming weeks. And yes, what we normally do here to finish off the show is one of the guest riffs, a classic sign-off. Thanks so much for joining us, Vicky, and Raewyn as well. And as we always say here on Primates Podcast,
Have a good ape.
Have a good ape. Have a good ape.
Vicky, I regret going to Raewyn.
I was going to say something about born from an egg, but
Wait, let's
have a
try-
good ape is better.
Punkiest. Oh, God. Sorry.
Have a good ape, everyone.
Have a good ape.
This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates. I mean, if you want. It's up to you.